Hello, Thunderbolts, to a very special ShockCast with me, your host, George Jimenez, staff writer from DualShockers.com. Joining me today, Mr. Ryan Meitzler.
Well, that was not supposed to happen. Trying to say hello, and I coughed instead. But hello, everyone.
Beautiful. Joining me also, Ryan. All right, you did.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm good.
All right, good. You're just ruining the flow of the most important ShockCast of the day.
It's a failcast already. Kind of like E3 sometimes, but you know.
Steven like... Santana, staff writer of DualShockers.com. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. 3 days. 3 days to E3.
Yeah, 3 days to E3. Thank you for making the transition to Thursdays, because I know it was a little rough for you when we were like, oh, we do them on Tuesdays, don't even worry about it. And you're like, all right, cool. And I'm like, hey, guess what? That was a lie. We do them on Thursdays now. And you're like, oh, balls.
Oh, wait, what?
So thank you. Yeah, Steven mentioned earlier, we're a few days away from E3, and in good DualShocker tradition, we get together and do our E3 predictions. We're going to talk about all the major publishers and see what's going to happen at E3. This is the time of the year where we put our little speculation hats on and decide and figure out what's going to happen next year in gaming. And as soon as E3 is over, we get together and realize, man, we were wrong about everything. How is that even possible? Unfortunately, Joel and Yaris are out there somewhere.
Being responsible adults.
Yeah,
doing important stuff.
What do you mean you gotta put your kids to bed and you can't talk about video games for an hour on the internet? Ugh, jerks. But yeah, so Ryan, we're gonna skip new releases this week. A, because the E3 is too important for that, and B, there's really nothing coming out. So unless you care about Batman coming out after E3, then yeah, you're good. And we're gonna skip headlines also because E3 is just too important. It's right around the corner, guys. Me and Ryan are gonna be on the same plane. That's how excited we are. We figured that out. We're gonna sit next to each other.
Yeah,
Ryan's gonna be my plane buddy.
And then George is gonna fall asleep on me, and I'm just gonna be like, really? Like,
listen, I got the middle aisle, so I am so annoyed. I'm gonna have my iPad, I'm gonna play stuff on my iPad, but it's gonna be really weird because the person next to me can see that I'm playing some stupid video game, and you're next to me gonna be reading books, judging the hell out of me, and I'm like, great.
No, I'm probably you're gonna play Hearthstone, and I'm gonna end up just watching you for 6 hours.
If there's Wi-Fi on the plane. Yeah, I'll be playing the hell out of Hearthstone, but it's a United plane, so I'd be surprised if we actually have seatbelts, because I have the worst experience with United Airlines. But
I think everyone does. But anyway,
but enough of that. So E3 is going to be next week, guys. We're going to have some amazing, in quotes, because it could be really good, or it could be a flaming train wreck. But we're going to be there. We're going to be covering all the press conferences. At least me and Ryan will be at most of the press conferences, and we're going to give you our reactions, our feelings. We're gonna leave the Microsoft booth with the Microsoft press with our glowy wristbands and be like, "What the hell did you? What happened?" But yeah, so let's run through the list, guys. I compiled it. I had a little notepad and I wrote stuff in there. But we're going to talk about each of the press conferences, starting with Bethesda, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo, Square, PC, and etc. So right off the bat, so the Sunday when we land, later that day, we're going to be packed into this theater, and Mr. Bethesda is going to come on stage and show us what's on the Bethesda slate for the year of 2015/2016. So before we got started was some news broke, so we know Fallout 4 will be there because Fallout 4 was announced last week.
Obviously. So now it's just a matter of, do we get a release date for Fallout 4?
I think so. Yes.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. So next question: will it come out this year?
Yes.
I think so, yes. I'm optimistically saying yes. I think there's definitely a chance it could come next year.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the way that they showed it and how it's looking so far, I think it's going to come this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a nice long 10 to 15-minute gameplay demo, and then they end it with November 22nd, blah, blah, blah. Just go to Boston this
was that your Ron Perlman impression of trying to...
War never changes.
War never changes. Yeah, I don't think they show too much gameplay. I feel like they'll tease it. They'll leave you wanting more, definitely.
No, they'll show VATS, for sure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If I don't see Super Mutant getting VATS'd in the face with a barbed wire baseball bat, I'm going to leave that press conference very disappointed.
You mean you don't want to see like in Fallout 3 when you shot a Deathclaw on the toe and it would just go spinning around like this over and over again? You don't want to see that in glorious HD, you know.
I want that. So, Ryan, how long was that press conference?
The Bethesda one?
Yeah.
Don't know. It starts at 6:30. No, I think it starts at 7. We have to be there 6:30. I don't know.
Question mark?
I don't. I mean, I'm guessing probably about an hour and a half, like standard press conference.
Okay,
length.
so
Most of them are about that. So.
Okay, so you're Bethesda. You have an hour and a half, conservatively. You've just shown 20 minutes of Fallout. What else do you fill the rest of the show with?
So I actually, as part of an editorial series we're going to be doing, where each, a bunch of writers are going to be doing, from the DualShockers are doing predictions pieces on each of the press conferences. So I'm doing the Bethesda one, which Steven said I was being safe on, so I guess, it was like... so I think the other likely thing is I think there's probably going to be a new Dishonored game shown.
Okay.
Arcane
Studios is working on something, I hope.
Yeah, there have been rumors that a new game was coming, and I think just some of the other logistics of it make sense because it's been about 3 years since the first Dishonored came out, so definitely enough time that I think that they could be developing and working on a new game. The first game was received really well; it got really good reviews, and it's really it was really popular.
I think it just came out at like a really rough time. Like it came out in the middle of that that holiday. It was like the start of that holiday avalanche. Where it just got buried or something else. I think it was the same week as XCOM, I think, or like a...
it was... it can't... Yeah, I mean, but I think it still was able to draw... It got great reviews, and I think, it was able to kind of build like a good following, and enough people really enjoyed it. I think that Bethesda definitely sees it as like something they could turn into a franchise. So I think it's likely that we'll probably get a new Dishonored game. Whether it's Dishonored 2 or just a new game, whatever it is, I think there's going to be a new game. It's tough to say for the... Oh, and sorry. The other obvious thing is there's going to be a new Doom that's going to be shown.
You think they'll actually show something? They'll show something.
They teased. They had a teaser trailer that came out a couple weeks ago, just showing like a brief. It was like a 15-second thing, but obviously they're going to probably show a new Doom. Whether that comes out this year or not, I don't know. Probably, I don't think so. I think they're going to focus mostly on Fallout if it's coming out this year, especially.
Oh yeah.
And then there are a couple other things that I kind of mentioned where it's like Evil Within came out last year. Whether they decided to do more of that or not is kind of up in the air. I think, especially because Evil Within was kind of not that good. So
I think people liked it. I think
some did. Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things that maybe they'll try and give it another shot.
Bethesda definitely has a very interesting catalog when you start thinking about it. Where it's just like as long as Fallout sells really well, we can take risks on other games.
Yeah.
How much time do you think is going to be spent on the Elder Scrolls Online?
So I do think that Elder Scrolls...
My ultimate fear was Fallout 4 was never going to be announced, but it was just like 45 minutes of like, hey man, let's level up your Khajiit.
Yeah, I think that I don't know how much they're going to go, because I mean like ESO has kind of been like a little rough. Like it launched fairly well, I think, but then it's kind of like petered out a bit.
Yeah, it did launch this week on Xbox One and PS4.
It did, yeah. I think, yeah.
Sort of free-to-play game?
Well, they did, yeah. They relaunched the game, the Tamriel Unlimited update that makes it a free-to-play game. There is subscriptions you can do to get like certain, certain content early, and to get certain bonuses and things like that. And then it did launch this week on PS4 and Xbox One. So obviously, with them launching it right before E3, I'm sure they're going to announce either new content or an expansion. I think is also pretty likely.
So what else we have? So Doom, I think Doom will show us. I think, I would not be surprised if Doom will definitely not get a release date because that game has been in.
Oh no! No, I think that's.
I have no idea what's going on with that Intech engine. It's just kind of like.
I think that is just going to be a trailer and maybe like a 2016 at earliest.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I would think what they should do is for Doom, show the spooky Space Marine stuff shooting a floating head in the face. But also show like maybe like a brief glimpse of multiplayer for like 6-player deathmatch or whatever. Like I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote Wet 2 on my list here. Come on.
I like that game.
They march out Eliza Dushku and the crowd goes crazy and Wet 2 gets announced.
The crowd wouldn't even know who that is. They would be like, "Wait, who?"
Come on.
No.
I'm going to assume they're Buffy and Angel fans. That crowd is going to be full of Buffy and Angel fans. At least 75%.
Half the crowd is going to be looking at their iPhone, Googling her name, being like, wait, who is this person again?
Or they're gonna be like, "What was wet?" And then they'll look at the cover and they'll be like, "Oh, that was that game."
Yeah, it's like, oh,
yeah,
she's from Boston. Is she in Fallout? Like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that. I liked it fine, but it was like a forgettable.
Yeah, that was one of those games. And I wrote another one here because why not? Rogue Warrior 2.
Oh, wait, that was Bethesda?
That was
Bethesda published game.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know
It's
that.
the company that takes risks, guys.
Wow.
Like I said, as long as Elder Scrolls and Fallout sell a bajillion copies, like I said, they can take a risk on these dumber titles.
They're good, yeah. One thing I said was like I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's something Wolfenstein that shows up, given how well the New Order did, because obviously New Order was I feel like New Order was kind of a surprise success for them. Like they, it did really. It got great reviews. It sold well. But they did just release Old Blood a month ago, so I don't know how likely they are to be working on something new for that. I
wouldn't be surprised if given the success of Wolfenstein, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a franchise they want to annualize. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this time holiday, BJ fights aliens in space.
I hope not.
I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if something Wolfenstein shows up. A lot of people brought up the possibility of a new Elder Scrolls game, like a new mainline, like Elder Scrolls 6. I think it's too soon for that. I think especially because of releasing, I really don't think that they're going to be the type of, exactly. Fallout came, got announced. I really don't think they're going to announce a new
outside
Elder
of it being, unless it's like an Elder Scrolls card game or a Telltale game. I think they're gonna. Elder Scrolls Online would be the only Elder Scrolls we see at the press.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't see any new Elder Scrolls for at least another year or two. I think they're gonna focus because otherwise they're gonna take the wind out of the sails of Fallout and their other games they announced.
Well, it'll be Fallout 4 this fall. Next year will just be all expansions for Fallout. Next fall will be Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition with a collection, and then at the VGAs next year they'll be like, oh, and there's a new Elder Scrolls coming out next year, and then maybe
and then 2 years down the road we get a release date for Doom.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when you buy the New Order, it was like, hey, if you pre-order the New Order, you can you'll get into the Doom beta, and I'm like.
Oh man,
that's a weird pre-order bonus.
You'll get into the beta 4 years from now when they actually are gonna start releasing that game.
What a weird pre-order bonus! At some point, I'm like, can I sue someone for promising me nothing?
Yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what other stuff they might show. But I'm excited. Bethesda's probably the one that I'm most looking forward to. I'm really excited.
So what are the odds you think of a new IP showing up? Or if there was a new IP, it would have leaked by now.
I think out of all the publisher press conferences, aside from Microsoft and Sony, where obviously they'll probably have some new IP, I think they're the most likely to have new IP outside of EA and Ubisoft and Square.
I think if they do, it'll only be one. It'll be one new thing.
I think so too. Yeah, because when you look at games like Evil Within and Dishonored and their more recent games that started as new IP, I think that they're more willing, I think, to take a risk on a new game.
It'll either be that or they'll somehow resurrect Prey 2, which was soft canceled a while ago.
Stop. That was wasn't that a 2K game, Prey 2? At some point it was a 2K game.
I think at the beginning it was, and then Bethesda took it over, and then they were like, "No, we're actually not going to do this," and then they just killed whoever.
I think that game's dead. I think just no one because not enough people I feel really even cared about the first game for there to be really.
Yeah.
But
I think it was one of those the little short demo that they put was this is weird and kind of cool. I want more of this, but I don't think enough people wanted more of that. To justify its existence. So I think all right. So we're gonna move on from Bethesda. That's gonna be our Sunday night. So as soon as that's over, we'll be like, hey man, we just saw this at the Bethesda booth. Oh man, I was right. Yeah, Ryan was right. Oh, wow. So once that's done, we go to bed, and then we wake up at the ass crack of dawn. Yes, and we go to Microsoft. First one in the morning. It's going to start with a bang. So the first thing I note here is how many execs in T-shirts with a blazer over will we see? What's the over/under, you think?
I'm going to go optimistically and say 5.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
I mean, you've got Phil Spencer. He's one. So I mean,
yes,
it's
definitely.
Okay, even better. How many Phil Spencer shirt changes do we see?
5.
5? Okay. Right.
No, I'm gonna go with 2. He's gonna appear twice, and he's gonna change his shirt once, and that's it.
He's gonna come in a battle. It's gonna be a Battletoad shirt.
I was gonna say,
I hope not.
Golden Axe.
Stop it. Just stop, Phil. Nobody. Oh, God.
Battletoad's confirmed.
I'm gonna side with Steven here. No one wants Battletoads. I think it's one of those games that when people think about it, it's like, oh yeah, Battletoads, and then we're like, when you really think about it, you're like, no, why would I want a Battletoads?
Mm-mm.
Like a poor man's Ninja Turtles, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think Phil Spencer he'll.
No, okay, I'm kidding. Keep going.
All right, so I've got some questions for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Does Microsoft act like Kinect doesn't exist? Is there any Kinect mention at all?
No. I think very, very minimally at most, but almost non-existent. I think it'll get as much mention as the Vita will at Sony's conference.
Oh no, I think it'll.
That was gonna be one of my Sony questions for you, Ryan.
Yeah, I think to them the Kinect is dead. Really, aside from a couple publishers that might or developers that might put something in it for it, but no, I think Kinect is dead. And newish breaking news: Scalebound, Crackdown, and Quantum Break are not going to be at E3. That post went up, I think, today by our news hound Giuseppe, and turns out they're saving those games for Gamescom. So to me, that says we have nothing to show.
Well, that or they have third parties.
Well, Microsoft said this previously a couple weeks ago, where they said that because EA, damn, I keep wanting to say EA. E3.
We'll get to them, Ryan. All right.
Yeah, E3 is starting a week later this year than it normally does, and Gamescom is a week earlier. So there's a closer proximity of 2 months between the events. So I think it is a smart move that they are kind of saving everything, because otherwise, then Gamescom sometimes kind of feels redundant, where it's like here's more stuff to go to the E3. So I think it's smarter that they are saving some, especially for those type of games. I think that might play better to a worldwide audience than U.S. audience, because I think like Scalebound definitely will. Quantum Break might, and what was the other one? Oh, Crackdown. Crackdown is something that can appeal to everyone. So
yeah, it's pretty generic.
Okay, so let's go with the obvious. Who's going to be there? Halo 5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Gameplay.
It's campaign gameplay trailer.
That's it. That's their biggest game going in.
Yeah. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, also gonna be. Yeah,
I think we'll see. I think we'll see a nice long gameplay demo of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Gears, I guess. I mean, there's been enough leaks of Gears of War to see now. Do we just see the remastered, or do we see new Gears?
The sequel. They'll do
I think we'll get a gameplay for the remastered and a tease for the new one.
Yes, exactly. Right after the demo ends, it fades to black, and then the new Gears of War, whatever the hell it's called.
You'll see a logo, and then it's like.
Is it just Marcus Phoenix just like?
Come on.
Stupid bandana back up. That was the weirdest reveal at the end of Gears when he takes his bandana off, and it's this really weird
deformed.
Yeah, this poofy windswept hair, and I was like, I was not expecting that to be.
I thought he was bald. I thought he was either bald or buzz cut.
It was a weird
Yeah, but no.
It was
Gears
strange.
Gears Remastered will show up. It'll have a fall November release date probably or something. Because Master Chief Collection was Black Friday, the week, the Tuesday right before it came out. I think was Master Chief.
That, yeah.
And I think they'll do the same with Gears, where it'll be that last Tuesday of November, right before Black Friday, and they'll hit it.
And I think in proper Microsoft form, they're going to spend way too much time talking about Windows 10 and
really?
I guess their version of what is it? Games for PC for Windows or Games for Windows?
It used to be Games for Windows Live.
Yeah. So I feel like their Xbox app and stuff. I think that's going to dominate most of the press conference, much like.
Really, I think.
I remember when the Xbox One was announced, TV, motion TV.
That wasn't E3. That was the reveal event. Was TV, movies, TV.
I think I think the Windows 10 compatibility is going to be really big, especially because they've revealed all the streaming Xbox One games to Windows 10. So I think that stuff is going to be really.
So I think we get a demo that runs at least 10 minutes too long about that, and that's going to fall into and that'll fall into Fable Legends, the newest Fable game. Because that's going to be a
bathroom break.
Yeah, that'll be when people are like, oh, okay, good, I can go just
pretty much
tweet this now and not pay attention.
Because Oculus, they had that Oculus news with Microsoft this morning.
Oh yes, that was one of the headlines I decided to skip. But let's
so is Oculus going to show up at Microsoft then, at their press conference, and they'll have
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Xbox and Oculus announced a partnership that will bring Xbox One into your Rift. The partnership would entail the following points: an Xbox One controller was shipped with every Oculus Rift headset.
Yeah, that's kind of big. Well, it's good because freaking the controller's like $60.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if the Oculus itself, like, I feel like that's something that's gonna be have more of a presence at the PC gaming show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know. It seems weird to me that they would include that when they have the HoloLens that they're developing.
I feel like the HoloLens is more of like just this weird proof of concept. Like I think we'll see.
Yeah.
I think we'll see.
It's more Google Glass than VR.
Yeah, I think we'll see like a brief mention of like, hey, this is going to be like this is the future of gaming type thing. But I don't think they're going to show. Yeah, I don't think they're going to show us like a retail version of HoloLens of like this was going to look like
I think it's way. I think the technology is way too early.
It'll be in their like
sure.
it'll be like in their sizzle reel montage of like weird things in the future, and I think the HoloLens will be there. But I think it gets like a brief mention.
I think it'll be like Nintendo last year with the Zelda, where it was literally just Miyamoto playing it on a TV, and they show it. And I think it'll be the same thing basically. Yeah.
So HoloLens. But back to this, Xbox One games will stream to Oculus Rift via Windows 10, and Windows 10 Windows 10 will support Oculus Rift natively.
What do they mean by Xbox One games will stream?
So one of the features of the Xbox app on the Windows 10 is you'll be able to stream games on there, which is like
so I think
almost like a remote play.
I think what they mean is that you stream it to your PC, but that you could play them with the Oculus. I think is kind of what it implies. So
why not just have the Oculus hook up to the Xbox One then? Like, why? Why not?
Maybe that's a great question. I think maybe they want to step. Maybe they don't want to.
It may not. Yeah, it may not be able to support the system.
Sure. Good point.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's so weird.
If they just came out and says, "Oh yeah, you know that port where your Kinect was supposed to go, plug in the instead."
Yeah.
Throw that thing out.
Yeah, bam, right there, and you're good. Yeah, I mean,
that's so.
It's. I think it's huge news, and
it is.
And for Oculus,
I was surprised.
And and a lot of people were wondering like, hey, what's going to be Microsoft's VR solution? And like the more I see of HoloLens, the more I see that this is just like this crazy pipe dream. Like it is literally. I think it's literally just a crazy guy. Yeah, it's a crazy guy in an R&D office. Like, would it be great if we just turn our living room into holograms? And I could just see Doc from like Back in the Future just settle down. Like none of this is going to work.
So, that feels definitely more like something that's like a proof of concept tech thing than a gaming-centered thing, which VR is definitely more gaming-centered.
Yeah, like we'll see HoloLens 5 years from now, and it won't be used for video games. It'll be a weird way to watch TV and stuff. But like,
and only really rich people will have it, like 3D printers.
Yeah, I like that I like that it's being worked on. So any new IPs for Microsoft? Let's throw some.
Because Phil Spencer a while ago tweeted that like there's going to be new IPs at the E3 conference. By IPs, like he means multiple, but that could just mean two. Like really, you could just have two and say put the S at the end.
Well, we know of, and I want to know if this is like AAA kind of new IPs or more of like, hey, this is our they have No Man, like this is our No Man's Sky type thing.
Oh. If they do, it would be for Mojang, which is Minecraft people.
And there's one game I think you mentioned called Gigantic, where
we're checking that out.
And I think Beyond Eyes also is another game that we're checking out. And I don't know if we're supposed to mention that, but I think.
No, they're both up online, like their videos and stuff.
So don't even quite know what those games are, but I think they fall. I think they fall more in the No Man's Sky indie space. But
they are
AAA new IP, not quite sure.
Maybe. Last year they had Scalebound. They had Phantom Dust, which they then killed.
I think they're gonna. I think there's definitely gonna be at least one or two new things shown there.
Yeah, but will one of them get canceled like Phantom Dust did a year after?
And, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Joe Montana Football exclusive on Xbox One.
It could also be more on the indie side because obviously aside from Scale, but they also showed things like Inside last year, which is the next game from the Limbo developers. So I'm sure that if there is, I'm sure there will be at least one or two things that come from the indie space, maybe more so than like AAA. But I wouldn't be surprised to see something new, like AAA wise, that gets into.
Is Inside going to show up again? Do you think?
I think there'll be an indie block. You know what I mean? How they on all the press conferences.
They do that. Okay. I mean, because the Inside guys, they actually just, I think last week, they said that originally they announced the game was coming out in early 2015. Obviously, that didn't happen because it's now middle of 2015. So I think that maybe is something that'll come either later this year or next. So I think it'll still be there.
Okay, and I had a note here about new hardware, but we already know, thanks to a leak, that will be a new Xbox One with a big hard drive, 1 TB hard drive, and it's going to be $400, and that means the current price for the 350 Xbox One with the 500 gigs, I guess, will be the permanent price. It's no longer a promotional price, and I'm like, it's not a promo. Like, how many promos do you know run for a year? Like, it's your permanent price. But I would not be surprised if that drops down another, if they knock down
50.
that one down, like 50, 20, 25, $50, make that 500 gig, just to clear the inventory, make it 325. Hell, I would make it $300 for that half gig one. Just get that crap out of here. Hack it, connect, and just not worry about connects. Just get them all there. Who cares?
I have an Xbox One now, but like the terabyte is nice because just having a lot of space is good for this generation, especially because these games, man, they're way big. They're so big. With, like,
30, 40, 50 gigs.
It fills up real quick, and you like don't realize it. Like, you know.
Yeah. That's why I didn't download The Witcher. I got a physical because I'm like, this game is going to be it's just going to take up too much space. I'll just get the physical copy.
That game is going to be like 200 gigabytes by itself by the end of it. It's all its DLC and all that.
Oh
so.
yeah,
I think it touches a little bit over 40. I think on the
it's
Xbox
pretty big.
One.
Any other Microsoft stuff?
I think the new controller is already unveiled. So in this new Xbox bundle, it's the new Xbox One controller with a proper headphone jack. Meaning you don't have to get this stupid
adapter.
this thing that I hate if you want your cool gaming headsets on there. So you can just plug it right through and you're good, and you could communicate with people online, which will be great.
I mean, Call of Duty will show up like always. And,
definitely. They opened the show with Call of Duty. I think they end with Halo 5.
Yeah, I think they'll end with Gears actually. I don't know why. Yeah, I feel like Halo will be like the mid game. And Tomb Raider will be like the third quarter, and then they end it in the fourth quarter with Gears.
Well, and you also have to remember Call of Duty is going to be a big presence too. So obviously we'll get some Black Ops 3 in there.
Yeah, well, we've got some time booked to check out the single player and the multiplayer for Black Ops. So I think you'll be checking that. I think I may have opted myself out and put you on the list for Black Ops, Steven. So enjoy.
Okay. I like Call of Duty fine. I liked Advanced Warfare. Like it didn't do enough, but it was like somewhat. It still wasn't like.
I really liked it too. I gave it a pretty good score, and like I said, I like the direction that it was going to, and it's like you're seeing kind of a stagnant franchise evolve, which is good because that's how you stay a franchise that people want to buy every year. All right, so let's move on from Microsoft. I'm excited to see their show, just see what weird gimmick that they're gonna have. So maybe are they gonna have exploding wristbands again this year? I hope, because I was super jealous when you and Tony went last year, Ryan, and you had glowy wristbands that changed color, like they went with whatever was going on. So
I was terrified because I
went on, it turned green. Something went, it turned red. And
everyone was tweeting like. Everyone was tweeting, "Oh my God! Like they gave us this wristband. I'm kind of afraid to put it on my."
No, because my thought was that as soon as we walk into the Sony conference, they're all just going to explode and kill everyone that's inside of there. That was my worry. So, it was really cool for being in there. So it was funny because I actually I went to the Radio City Spring Spectacular, unrelated video game story, and they also used the same exact wristband where it lit up during certain parts of the show, and it was like flashbacks of the Microsoft thing. So.
All right, so let's move on to the next press conference that we're gonna dash to, and this one Steven can come, which is great.
Yeah.
I feel so bad because I think you were kind of late on the registration, so like all your like press invites were just kind of like, we're full star, Steven. So I think the only one, so I think you can only make it to the EA one, which I think would probably be the most interesting one, and that's I think the one that everyone is kind of most excited for.
Mirror's Edge and Battlefront.
Mirror's Edge, yes, Mirror's Edge was announced.
Well, because they actually have games that they're ready to show, unlike last year, which was kind of unfortunate, where all their games. So last year's conference was basically all concept art, and like here are games that are coming out in like 2 or 3 years.
Well, I think the problem was they have, I think it's one of those situations where you have these venues booked in advance, and if you cancel, then the chances of you getting it the next year become slim. So
Yeah, they're
it was like,
diminished.
yeah,
Oh,
we just
yeah,
like,
'cause
we
as
need
soon
to,
as-
we need to book it. Like, just
Yeah, as
don't
soon
care what
as-
we have. We need to book it.
As soon as EA drops out, someone else will try and take it. So yeah,
Yeah.
obviously they had to just take it, but then it was kind of like But anyway, so yeah, EA's conference, they'll actually have stuff like Star Wars Battlefront, Mirror's Edge. Obviously they're
Let's talk about Battlefront for a second.
Yeah, sure.
What will they show? I would not mind if they spent 15 minutes and showed me a match.
Yes.
I think
Hey,
I think
Take
they
a class, run through, turn into Darth Vader, cut some dudes in half.
I think they absolutely have to show gameplay. I think it's what they absolutely have to show because even though they showed the trailer earlier this year at the Star Wars Celebration and it got people excited, but I think a lot of people complained because it wasn't gameplay. It was mostly it was in game.
An engine or some nonsense.
Yeah, it was in-engine, in-game stuff.
Will they do the Battlefield? We've got pro gamers playing it on a roof. Boom! Explosions.
I hope not.
Everyone was just like, what the hell was that?
No. I think they'll do it. It'll be a heavily scripted multiplayer battle where it's like, oh, this is Hoth, and they'll have the AT&T or the AT-AT boom, boom, and then you're like in a snow speeder and you're going, and then all of a sudden you're like
tow cable. That's how you're gonna bring. it
yeah,
down.
exactly. Yeah, they'll definitely do something like that. Like they have to show Hoth because everyone just fucking loves Hoth. Like Hoth is the best battle. And it's going to be heavily scripted though. Like it's not going to be anything that you actually play when the game finally comes out.
Yeah,
But
like
it'll
very
be
minimal, like heads-up display. Like
yeah.
I think they'll do like a Killzone 2 type demo where it's like this kind of looks too good. Like
Oh, well, that wasn't even a demo. That was like a cinematic trailer that they
with a heads-up display.
yeah, that they put as a demo.
So, do you think they're going to show? Because The Force Awakens is upon us. It's close. Christmas Day, guys.
Yeah.
Who's coming with me? Come on, Ryan. We're midnighting it.
Yeah, I think so.
What other Star Wars games do you show? Do we see the game that Amy Hennig is
Visceral.
working on?
Yeah, definitely. Visceral. That's she's working with Visceral, right? Or is it a separate studio?
Something like
it is Visceral that she's helping.
Okay.
She's working on the game with.
They'll show something of that.
So will we see a third-person action Star Wars game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or Uncharted Star Wars?
It's going to be a Han Solo game, and it's going to be third person, and they'll show a trailer, but it won't be anything gameplay.
If there is a game where you play as Han Solo in between the end of Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, I think I would be the happiest of campers.
Oh yeah, I think they'll do that. Because
Okay.
everything is not canon anymore, so they get to do whatever they want and make it new canon or whatever.
So will they show? Do we get the actual sequel of Knights of the Old? Do we get a KOTOR 3?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
I think the KOTOR franchise is kind of like done.
the Old Republic kind of killed it.
I think Old
I
Republic
mean, it's
is
doing
kinda
well. It's doing well, but I think people are like, unless you give me my legitimate RPG, I want nothing to do with Star Wars: The Old Republic. I think we do get a glimpse of whatever the next expansion is. I think we get a trailer and that's it.
Oh God.
Like a brief 90-second Rise of the Empire trailer or some weird announcement like, we've got a new class! And
Are they really still? Are they really still supporting that game?
Oh yeah, that game's doing since that game's gone free to play, it's been doing really well, and they've been swimming in money. And I think that's a game, and I think that was a game where a lot of people wanted to play it, but were kind of turned off by the fact that it was they just want to do the story, the character story missions.
Yeah. Well, those were the best I've heard.
Yeah, and people just didn't want to pay $15 a month. So if you just do the free to play, you can take a character, you can run them through your whole entire campaign, and it's like, oh, you don't actually want to do some raids or player versus player. That's when you want to consider paying the extra money for a subscription, and that way you have unlimited access to the full game. But yeah, a lot of people I know a lot of people just play it just to do the stories, and then that's it. Like me and Yar still play that game, which is weird. Okay. That's our dirty little secret. But but yeah, I think that just falls under very mediocre MMO with whatever gimmick was. Hey, DC Universe is the same way, where it's it's kind of an average action RPG, but with DC characters. So there you go. I think they'll show that.
BioWare is working on some Star Wars game, so
yeah, perfect. That's all I want.
I know what it is.
We'll see Mass Effect, right?
I hope so.
I think we get an actual gameplay trailer or more of
we'll get a title.
I think it's a tease, like a teaser trailer at
We'll
most.
get a title at the very least.
Get the galaxy map.
Maybe. It'll be Mass Effect and then a subtitle. It's not going to be Mass Effect 4.
Do you think it's a prequel, or is this hundreds of years after the Shepherd has picked the green choice?
I think it's I don't. It could. I think it's a continuation of the story, but not directly related to the original. I think it is
Yeah.
either a prequel or it's far in the future after the events of the first game.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, I think it's
Or-
more
yeah.
like a sidequel, like a little bit after the ending, but it's kind of like off
Like
on
a
its
side
own.
story, like First Contact War. What's Anderson up to? And then you'll follow Anderson for a while.
Oh, an
Okay,
Anderson
maybe.
game? That would be amazing. I would.
I mean, the book, I think the first book was basically following Anderson as a young soldier. Him and Sarah. That was an awesome book.
I have them. I haven't read them yet, but I will. I will soon. Maybe on the flight.
Read them on
We'll
the
see.
yeah, exactly. Read them on the airplane.
Probably knock them out during the flight.
Good God. I feel like I'm not
Mirror's
gonna
Edge.
talk to you. Mirror's Edge, yes. I think we will see Faith running
Game. Yes.
for 30 seconds, and
I think,
and that'll be enough.
I think.
What she does.
I think we will see gameplay. I think
Yeah.
it's strong. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think we really have to, because they last year again like showed like just concept art of like, oh, here's pre-alpha footage of Faith doing Mirror's Edge stuff, and it's just like, all right, just show me what's new, like show me why.
Oh, she got another tattoo. Cool. Like, ugh.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, they've been teasing a Plants vs Zombies game,
Okay,
like
sure.
the Twitter for Plants
That
vs
is
Zombies.
that's going to be shown at the Microsoft conference. It's
okay.
possible they might show a little more at the EA, but that's going to
Yeah.
debut during Microsoft.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Okay.
Got another one for you guys. So after their 10-minute sports block, where we get FIFA, Madden,
yeah.
hockey,
Bathroom break.
NASCAR. That's another bathroom break. What athlete do you think will come on stage to introduce the games?
Who got suspended last year for doing bad stuff? Who was that? Was that like some?
No, they will not bring out Rice. What is the guy's name? I forget his name. No,
It was something Rice, yeah.
you
They'll
think
bring
he
him
was
out.
booked? You think he was booked before the incident, and then
That'd be hilarious if he was grandfathered in through a contract of like.
Like we have to bring him out. Like if we not, we have to pay him like $2 million.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. So it's like they have to. Oh, that'd be hilarious. No, I don't know. I really don't care.
I think it's a retired football player.
Really? Huh?
I think maybe Messi comes out.
'Cause they're cheaper?
No, I think Messi comes out and does FIFA and like he comes out in his broken English and like, hey, the football, the biggest sport in this. I don't know, but I don't know where he's from. So I don't
Wouldn't
know
they
what that
arrest him though because of the FIFA thing?
No, well, he had nothing to do with it. He's not a FIFA.
No? Oh,
If he was a
okay.
FIFA executive, yeah, then he shouldn't be there. But he's just a player. Like
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about sports, so
we don't even know who the guy who hit his wife. We're like Rice. I don't know. John Rice.
I don't know. Oh,
I
God.
almost said Jerry Rice. I'm like, no, he's actually a retired Hall of Famer with no blemishes on his record or his personal life.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
There'll be the 10-minute bathroom break where they just interview sports. Do we get another Battlefield?
No,
So
it's all Battlefront.
All right.
I have to focus on Battlefront.
I think it's possible though, because I mean, really, of all those like big franchises, Battlefield, they're most consistent, like kind of almost not quite annualized, but close to it.
Yeah.
Like they come.
Battlefront technically be their Battlefield? I mean, it is done by DICE.
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
They're trying to
'cause
make
they-
it
well, they-
different.
Yeah, and I mean, because Hardline was developed by Visceral Games, so it's
Yes.
possible that they could pass it off to another studio. So I think that's not outside the realm. I think they could announce a new Battlefield. I don't think it will be a surprise.
Okay.
Okay.
We get a Need for Speed, right, guys?
Well, maybe it'll be an expansion to Hardline.
Could
Like-
there could be that too, but I don't know if Hardline, because Hardline I feel like has kind of dropped off the radar since it came out.
that's
So I don't know if the support's going to be there for it. But Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a Need for Speed Underground, like back to like urban street racing and modding your car. Like, yeah,
Ugh.
that's what I want. I want my Mitsubishi Eclipse with my underglow and my 20-inch rims and my vinyls.
Oh my gosh.
I want a tiger on the hood of the car as I'm racing on the mean streets of L.A. and New York and Miami. That's what I want.
Yeah. They definitely said they're going for like the urban feel, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
That's what
Like,
the kids like, man. It's also
God.
code for black. So it's what do
I
the
see.
kids like? It's one of those really horrible marketing words for like, what does urban mean? It's like, I think
Yeah. Ugh.
I think they want to say black but not be offending to anyone. So what else do they show? What's an EA wild card that comes out? Did you see that weird golf game? That weird golf game with the battleship
What?
in the background. What was that?
That was-
game? Remember last year?
That was PGA.
That was
That was
PGA
last
last
year.
year, yeah.
Yeah. They had Levolutions in PGA Tour. Which wasn't what's the hell's his name? Woods? Tiger Woods? Oh yeah, Tiger Woods.
No, it's Rory, the Rory guy now.
Rory McIlroy,
Yeah,
I think his name was?
Yeah.
We don't know golf either. Like,
Yeah.
No,
we've
that's true.
been talking about sports for 5 minutes, and we literally we sound like we just landed on this planet.
Yeah. Like, what's a baseball? Like,
High-low's it's a big sport, right? People still play high-low, right? With the little long
Goal.
story things.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I think EA is going to be predominantly Star Wars, Mass Effect, and the sports block. And yeah, I think they'll probably end like on a Need for Speed.
Sims 4. I think there's going to be expansion
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
Maybe
sure.
I think is another likely thing. Aside from also their sports stuff, but yeah. Anyway,
Totally forgot that game existed.
I think most people did, but I think they're going to remind they're going to remind people that it exists and
There's
and
going to be some
announce
games down our throats.
new content, expansions, and or microtransactions, which I'm sure will happen. So.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's move on to I think it's going to be the most intriguing one because I'm like, what the hell are they going to show? Ubisoft, guys.
Oh yeah.
I think their show, which is the only show we're not going to, is I think that might be the most fun one. I think Aisha Tyler's going to come
Really?
out, do her thing, you know, like I like when she like goes off script.
That's like part of the reason why I want to go to Ubisoft show one year. Is not necessarily for the actual games because I want to see Aisha Tyler there because she's
They had
she's
dancers
always awesome.
last year.
It's
Remember
like,
they had dancers last year, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Oh.
Just Dance. You can play with your iPhone right now, so you can just dance in public and it'll record yourself. I'm like, what is?
No.
People,
Thank you.
oh my God, people dancing in the balcony. It's like, well, let's see who the winner was because we can compete with 40 people. You guys, the top row, you won. Like, oh my God, you're real professional
Oh,
dancers.
man. I've always found her to be incredibly awkward whenever she does the hosting. Like
I
a
think
lot of
she's
people like her.
hilarious.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't know. I just always find it awkward. Like I'm watching and I'm like, can we just show the game? Like I don't. There was one year where she kept saying like girl boner or something, and I'm like, what? Like
She's trying to make
why?
a trend. Well, anything beats Jamie Kennedy.
Who is he? I
Jamie
don't even
Kennedy?
remember.
What?
Don't remember.
He was on, and then he was like super like antagonizing everyone. Like he just kept calling people. He's like, "You nerds are gonna like this." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." Like
Oh, okay. So it was like the VGX Awards where they brought that one.
Joe
guy
McHale.
on.
Yeah, when she started
Yeah,
making fun of, "Oh, you guys like video games? Well, I'm gonna make fun of you for the next hour and a half."
Yeah, exactly. God, that was so bad.
Okay, so well, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We'll see.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Long
Definitely.
gameplay
We'll see a
demo.
nice long gameplay demo of the two characters switching off. That'll be kind of neat. We'll definitely see Just Dance because that game seems to make
Ugh.
all the money in the world. That's like you'd be surprised. Like I can't believe like that's their most successful franchise. Just because I guess it's a dancing game on all platforms, and you can also play it on your iPhone now. So yeah,
Yeah.
they'll-
And the fact that it still releases on the Wii, like the original one. so-
Yeah.
like that'll be and that'll be another stage demo of them dancing again.
Yeah,
The
basically.
Division will show up for the third year in a row.
But it won't release until next year. so.
Nope.
No division for you. Do we get another Far Cry?
I think something Far Cry. Whether they
Okay.
my hope is that they do another like Blood Dragon type deal.
Yeah.
I
that would
don't
be
know. Yeah, I don't know how likely that is, but we'll see. I think they're on the verge of making Far Cry an annual franchise.
Ugh, I hope not.
I'm going
I
to
hope not, but I think it could happen.
I'm going to assume that we will not see a Crew 2.
No.
I don't think so. No.
Thank you.
They'll take a break.
Just pretend like it doesn't exist. So let's go back to Division. So you think we see another canned like gameplay demo of
Definitely.
like
Yeah,
a very
I think
rehearsed
so.
multiplayer match?
And
Just
then,
be like,
and then
this is
and
what
then
we're coming
they'll-
up with.
That's all they have.
and then they'll just be like, "Hey guys, this looks so good, doesn't it? Do you wish it came out this year?
Nope.
Well, it's not. Sorry, we're gonna show it again next year.
It was supposed to come out like last year.
It's supposed to come out, a while ago.
Oh,
but
God.
no,
Is that-
no luck.
How many? What's like the title game where it's like this is the game that has shown up at the most E3s without coming out? Is it Division now? Is there like any other game that's shown up for like 3 years in a row?
I think right now it's Division, or at
Watch
least
Dogs. Watch Dogs was the same way. That was like
Oh,
probably
yeah.
two or three at least.
Well, because it came out right before E3 2014.
right
So,
before
like,
last
it
year.
just missed it. So, oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, they really need to just put that out
I-
already.
I
No,
just-
I think
I
I think
feel like-
Sony wins that record of like showing games that
Last
don't.
Guardian. Oh.
Yes, so and there's a number of franchises that they have that they will show, and we're like, did we see this like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Which, you know what? With that segue, let's move right on to Sony, guys.
Yeah.
I made a note here.
One quick, sorry. Rainbow Six at Ubisoft.
Oh, yes, Rainbow Six.
Oh,
yes.
right! Siege!
Oh, yeah, that'll probably be playable there, so...
They're trying to make that a November game, which I'm like, you just had the alpha in, like, March? So how quick are they going to be able to, like, make that come out? Because, like,
I think
don't
it's
know,
out this year. I think maybe, like, since, like, Battlefield and stuff like that won't be out this year, presumably, I think they'll try and get Rainbow Six out this year.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they confirmed. I thought wasn't it coming out?
Yeah, it was like a November release date.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll definitely be out this year. I think they'll show that.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like I totally forgotten about Siege, and I'm pretty sure I wrote a couple of posts about it in the last 2 weeks.
So yeah, I just before we move on to Sony, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, let's go to Sony. So
Yeah, Sony.
Yeah. So let's start with how many remasters are we going to think? What's the over/under on remasters? So
well, there's God of War 3, Uncharted. Does Uncharted count as 3 or does it count as 1?
we'll do one.
We'll do one because it's a collection. So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Killzone will show up in some way as a remastered. I bet.
I feel bad for Guerrilla Games. I want them to do other things, but I feel like they don't have
No!
a choice.
This is the year where Guerrilla will show their new IP with the dinosaurs. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna show it.
I think I'm gonna go with 5 remasters.
Jesus.
Just a whole remastered block.
Yeah.
Now, how many remasters of games that came out last generation?
One.
I think
We
it'll
get another
be
remasters of Last of Us.
For the Last of Us remastered. Like,
remastered.
remastered.
I
get a
think
Twisted Metal remastered, or
I don't think we'll get that many remasters. I think we'll get the classic Sony thing where they have like 12 indie developers come out and they're like, this is coming to PlayStation, and this is coming to PlayStation, and this is coming to PlayStation. And it's just like, when? And they're
Wow,
like, yeah, eventually.
You mean these games that came out on PC last year? Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Love the
It'll
fact
be
I
like,
spent $40 on this indie system. Like, no, let's come on. No, that's not what we're here, Sony. All right.
yeah, but they'll do that. They'll open. I think they'll open with Uncharted. Like, I feel like that's their opener.
Probably. Okay. You mentioned this earlier.
The Bloodborne DLC, which Shuhei confirmed. That'll be there.
Great. Yeah, that'll definitely get some time. We mentioned it a little bit
You
earlier.
think, I feel like that's soon. Like, I feel like that's something maybe they'll
Really?
save for the end of the. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like way too soon for that to happen. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
it'd be
work. I think
cool.
I think we got a trailer and a date.
It could.
for the
Yeah,
Bloodborne
I think
DLC.
especially because of how well Bloodborne did. I think that
Yeah.
it's possible. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the redheaded stepchild, the Vita.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say last.
the other redheaded stepchild.
They seem to have a
How
lot of
many do
redheaded
they have?
stepchilds.
They have a lot. The Vita will get a price drop again.
So Vita's like, it's free. Just come in, ask for one. You actually get a Vita for every purchase of your PS4.
It's the first free-to-play console.
No, that's Last Guardian's the elephant in the room. The redheaded stepchild is the Vita. So
Yeah, okay.
I think they do something different with
Gravity Rush 2.
Okay, sure, fine.
I think that'll be there.
The
Who's
problem
gonna buy
though, I
it?
think is with
I'll buy it. I liked the
I
first
know.
one.
I'll wait when it comes out on PS4 on PS
I
Plus for free.
I mean, Andrew,
Whatever.
because they had the whole thing a couple weeks ago about saying the Vita's a legacy platform now, and that they're not going to be actively. So I think that they're mostly going to do something like with the PlayStation experience, what they were like George said, like, here are all these games that came out on PC last year, and they're coming to Vita this year, and I think that's really about it. I don't think they're not gonna waste any resources developing for the Vita because they don't sell.
Which is unfortunate because it's actually a nice piece of hardware.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I just put it. Yeah, they'll definitely have their indie showcase because let's be honest, their first party lineup as far as AAA is concerned is not super strong. Big quotes here.
Doesn't Yaris Yaris, he wants God of War 4 like really badly for some reason, which is weird because God of War is just not a franchise that inspires like emotion in anyone really.
Unless they do total revamp where it's just a brand new character who takes down Kratos, because I wouldn't mind taking down Kratos.
That would be interesting.
The man has a bad attitude.
That would
be cool.
I don't like him.
That would get me interested in the franchise again. If it's just another Kratos goes on a god killing spree like the past games were, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But I think if there was a twist where maybe someone's trying to kill Kratos, like that's an interesting twist.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
So,
that would be very cool.
Do we see Kingdom Hearts?
No,
Or is that reserved for the Square show?
I think
exactly.
I think it's Square because it's multiplat and it's not tied specifically to PlayStation. I think it's at Square.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just Square.
do we get another mention of Last Guardian? Because last year no one said anything, or did they say like, "Oh, we're working on it"?
If it doesn't,
no.
I think if it doesn't get announced this year, it's dead. I flat out, I think it's dead.
Fucking dead.
It's gone on too long. I think they're at a point where they just have to say, "Look, guys, it's not going to happen," or "It's going to happen," and just
or it's out right now.
Yeah,
we get a Persona game.
That's weird.
Do you mean them showing Persona 5 or?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna show it there. It's just I don't know. Like I don't know if Persona has the mainstream draw to be able to be
JRPG.
Like that.
What do you mean it's not gonna have a draw?
Persona 4 Golden sold really well. Like when it came west. I don't know. I want Persona 5 to be there so badly, but I feel like Tokyo Game Show. Like that's just something they'll just save.
I think it's gonna be more like either a Gamescom or a TGS type thing that they'll show rather than E3.
Atlas is smart.
Yeah. Oh, Project Morpheus. Do we get a price? Do we see it in action? Does
Shuhei
come out with it on his head? Like
I think we see it in action. I don't know if we'll get much more than that, but
yeah.
Okay. Do you think it'll be on the show floor?
Debatable.
Okay.
They had a booth for it at PSX, so I feel like they will have it. I just don't think it'll be that big.
Okay. Do you think there'll be?
Do
you think there'll be a counter after Microsoft spends time saying like, "Hey, we have a partnership with Oculus Rift"? Do you think there'll be a block there where it's like, "Well, we got this Morpheus, remember, and it's only $100 or some nonsense like that"?
No, I don't think they'll give a price because even the Oculus doesn't have a price, and that's been in development for fucking forever. I don't know. I think it'll show up and they'll be like, "Oh, this is a cool game that's gonna work with Oculus." Like it'll be one of their IPs or something that'll work with it. That's like kind of big, kind of not that much care though. So I don't know. It's weird. I like the idea of Oculus because again, I just have a laptop, so the Oculus itself I can't really run. But the Morpheus is like, oh, it just works with your PS4, and I'm like, okay, cool. If you make the price right, I'll totally get one. But if it's like $300, I'm not getting a Morpheus for $300.
No, that's a good point. Like you're asking too much of me, and then you're only the hardest of the hardcore will want this thing, and and you know what? In order to be successful, you kind of have to want everyone to want it. All right, so let's leave Sony. Like I said, like I'm nervous about this show. I mean, I'm excited to go see it because I just want to see like how much time do you think is spent kind of like Sony tooting their own horn of like, hey, we sold 20 million PS4s and blah blah blah, and like really going hard on.
It'll be about a couple minutes at least.
Yeah, it'll be near the beginning. It'll be like an opening monologue of like, oh, this many people have shared gameplay from Bloodborne.
But I know like definitely because they have some stuff coming up. Like they've got until like we definitely know that like I'm sure they'll show Until Dawn and and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture since they'll both be out in August. I think they come out like the same day pretty much. Yeah. They're pretty close. They'll both be out in August. I am wondering if No Man's Sky is going to be there, or if they're going to give that a break.
No, I think it has to be there. I mean, like they have nothing else to show. Like I think they'll dedicate some time. I think I think we'll see like another really cool trailer. I think we'll get more of an idea of what the game is actually about.
Yeah, because nobody fucking knows what that game is.
Like we're just flying to space and there's some dinosaurs. Great, all right.
You're exploring space. It's like why should I care about exploring space? Like it's just do you just wander
Until Dawn
aimlessly?
That's going to be a fun game. I remember I played a little bit of that at Comic-Con. And my build froze, but one of the stuff I got to play was really good. And it's it's a horror. It's basically like a horror heavy rain, which more of that.
That's why I'm pumped for it because it looks great. So anyway,
I think Sony will surprise us. Like I think they will. Like a lot of people are kind of going in thinking they don't have anything, but I think they've actually been doing well at not leaking everything before the show, which usually happens. We'll see, though. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see what gets announced, and we'll see what gets delayed in the next month or so, where it's like, oh yeah, because remember, Microsoft did that same thing. It was like, hey man, look, we got Phantom Dust, and then they announced like, yeah, that studio's gone. Phantom Dust doesn't exist. We just wanted something to make like we wanted something to make you nerds happy, and then we're gonna take it away on the sly and hopefully forget about it.
That's so weird. Yeah, but well,
let's move on to Nintendo.
Oh man, Nintendo!
They're going to have a stream. And then I recommend watching their Treehouse streams all E3 because they do like hour-long demos of games. I love this new format just because it's become easier to cover.
Yeah. They need to have a release date for Yoshi's Woolly World. It has been too long.
They need to release it for Zelda because it got
Oh,
delayed.
you're not gonna get that.
Do we see Zelda?
No, they said it's not gonna be at E3, and I believe them.
Not even a trailer?
No.
They said it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there.
Nope.
What's the point of living?
I mean, Star Fox is going to definitely be there. I mean, it has to be because it's apparently coming out this year, and yet we've seen little to nothing of it. So
Nothing.
Do we get a new? I hope Star Fox is like multiplayer, and you have like Star Fox dogfights or something.
I
It'll
think that'd be fun.
limited multiplayer.
Okay.
But
do we get some sort of DS redesign of something?
no. The new Nintendo 3DS is it. Maybe they'll announce that the new Nintendo 3DS, the regular size, is coming to the US.
Okay.
Because they only have the XL right now, which kind of got like some people kerfluffled because the XL doesn't have those faceplates, which they've been selling like crazy in Japan, which is like these custom faceplates that you can interchange and whatnot. And it's like, why? Like, why? Like, why aren't you selling the regular 3DS XL or the new 3DS?
Oh man, what if faceplates make a return and like Microsoft just announces a new Xbox One with faceplate compatibility?
I don't know how that would work because that thing is such like a VHS box. Like I don't know where you would fit
I
that.
loved my old faceplates from my original 360.
What faceplates do you have?
I had a Gears one. I had a wood panel one.
I had the
Ninja one. Generic Ninja.
Viva Pinata?
I had the Viva Pinata one, which is the best,
man,
so it was great.
The faceplates are awesome.
They were.
Wasn't that game simply about making pinatas bang to make more pinatas?
Yes,
Oh, no, it was even darker. It was
secretly because you would and then what you would do is you would just kill them and then sell their candy. So it was basically just a messed up like factory farm like slaughterhouse simulator more than anything. It just happened to look adorable. So
that's terrible. Oh
yeah. Anyway. It was a great colorful game in a world of like grays and browns.
Yeah,
like it was probably more messed up than Gears of War. But anyway, let's go.
I'm looking. Nintendo.
What? I'm looking at the. Okay, just real quick. I'm looking at the official upcoming Nintendo site for like upcoming games: Mario Maker, Animal Crossing, Yoshi's Woolly World, Xenoblade. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I have.
Yeah, I mean it is being imported. I think one of our guys played it and liked it, so we'll definitely see the Xenoblade. Mario Maker, I guess they'll spend some time on there. Do you think they'll mention about their mobile strategy at some point?
They could. I think it's possible.
Here's a slide saying, "Hey, we're bringing back Super Mario on Mario World on the iPhone or iPad or something."
I think they said they're not going to do ports. I think they said they're going to do unique experiences.
They're creating original games.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Here's your match 3 Pokemon game on the iPhone.
Well, they already have that on the 3DS.
They've got Pokemon Shuffle.
I didn't know, right? I'm sorry.
If there's one to announce, it is more amiibo stuff. Because obviously,
how many goddamn gold amiibos do you think gets announced?
they're gonna announce gold and silver editions of every amiibo that's out in the market right now, and people are gonna flip their shit. And like,
Ryan, would you buy an E3 edition amiibo?
I might.
Only purchasable on the show floor, and they only have 5.
And people are gonna kill each other on the. They're gonna like, slit throats if that happens. So
it'll be the Thunderdome for Mad Max, where it's like 2 amiibos enter one.
No, it'll be Fury Road, where it's just people just like rushing to go. It'll be a disaster. So obviously they're gonna announce more amiibo stuff.
I've got one for you guys. Does a Metroid get announced?
Don't George, don't make me cry, because that's like the thing I want the most.
I know.
More than the only thing other than I would want more.
Don't look at me like that, all right? I'm just asking the question.
Look,
why are you putting this hope in our minds?
I would only want a new Smash Brothers above that. We got that already.
What?
I want
exactly.
It's like, but like a new Metroid, I would kill for.
We'll definitely get the Fire Emblem game on the Wii U.
What the hell happened to Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei?
It's still happening. I think it's just slow going right now.
I think we will see that in some capacity.
So my crazy wild card is a new Donkey Kong from Retro.
Oh yeah. So instead of Metroid, they'll just make another Donkey Kong.
Great.
I think people will get really disappointed, but
Yeah.
I think
I'm kind of glad there is no press conference for us to go to, because I feel like I would leave like. Whatever, more Donkey Kong, great.
Yeah, I like Nintendo. They sometimes do dumb stuff, but I don't know. Their games are really good. I just recently found out that the Wii had Wi-Fi capabilities. I never knew that.
Yes.
That was the only way that you could connect until for a while. So.
Yeah, you gotta buy a little. You would have to buy
You had
like
to
a
buy the little
broadband adapter, and
There's a little adapter for a regular connection.
I remember I worked at GameStop and I had one of those in my store, and I like would look at them like, what the hell is this for?
Yeah, I had no idea it had Wi-Fi. I thought the PS3 was the only one that had natively Wi-Fi built in last generation.
Nope.
Do we get
Apparently the Wii did.
Do we get a price drop for the Wii U?
Yes.
Like 25, 50,
likely 50.
$200 for a Wii U?
If they do, I will.
I think that's how you do it.
I will finally purchase one.
I think it's likely that there will be a price drop.
Yeah, and you know what, Steven? I think they need to get people with that attitude to finally buy a Wii U. Where it's like, what?
Amiibos are such a success. Why don't they just bundle it with the Wii U? There you go. They have Amiibos.
Oh my God! You get like Amiibo.
That only come with a Wii U console. So it's like, oh, you want the Star Fox Amiibo set? Guess what? You have to buy a whole fucking Wii U console to get it.
How much do you think those are going on eBay?
Boom, done. Yeah, they were. Oh man, they would be crazy. So
you need to, Steven, you need to mention that when you get to Nintendo on Thursday. Just
I'll
stay
ask them.
there. Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That is evil and genius, and I love it. But yeah, Nintendo, I think they will surprise us. I think a couple of new IPs will come out. I think they will show some new IPs. We'll see some. We'll see a Hyrule Warriors-ish game of some sort.
That's already coming. That's already coming to 3DS or the original one.
They did announce that there's going to be a 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors coming, which is pretty cool. I think it's exciting. So
you think there'll be like a Sonic Warriors or a Donkey Kong Warriors? Let's just go in, man.
Well, if it does happen, Ryan will have to review it. So
yes.
I mean,
our Warriors editor, Ryan. I say.
No, our Sonic editor.
How excited are you for the new Sonic expansion?
I am not at all, Steven. Not at all.
I never saw anyone be so unhappy.
I literally saw that announcement for the new one and I groaned when I saw it.
I think it's safe to say that we are not the target demographic for new Sonic games.
I guess that doesn't make it a less shitty game though.
No.
Oh man!
All right, so so Nintendo's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna. Do they mention the Project
Square
next? We'll go to Square. You hold your horses, Steven. All right.
I'm just so excited.
Project NX. Do you think we'll see anything on it?
Nah.
The new comps? No. I think they'll get
I think next year.
I think Reggie will say a line of like, as Nintendo moves into the future, and then just kind of, I don't know.
Leave it at that.
Wait, he just walks off stage.
Yeah, and then
off stage.
And then we see Wii U Fit come out, and then that's it. We're like, oh.
He's gonna ask, are our bodies ready?
Are your bodies ready?
All right. Since Steven could not wait any longer,
it's just Kingdom Hearts, man.
let's go to SquareSoft.
No, they're not. They're not SquareSoft. They're Square Enix.
Square Enix.
I'm sorry. I live in the past.
They were SquareSoft.
SquareSoft was
they were like
when they were
10 years
good.
ago.
Was when they were really good.
That was like 20 or 25 years ago.
It's before they sold out, man.
That was like before Steven and I were born,
did.
probably. So
No. They were Square, and then there was it was SquareSoft in like the 90s, and then they merged with Enix in like early 2000s, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get the other one out of the way before we get to Kingdom Hearts. We will definitely see Star Ocean 5. Yes.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's
Definitely.
huge. That is. I want to see the Enix part of Square Enix start pulling their weight. All right.
Did they like announce that to like no fanfare at all, or was that?
I think it's a game that's just kind of been worked on, and it was just kind of like, we just haven't been ready to talk about it. But I think we will see an actual trailer for Star Ocean 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we'll
been announced. There just hasn't been anything shown really, other than like a logo. But I think it will be shown.
We will see a long, obnoxious Final Fantasy 15 cutscene.
Yeah, probably.
Like, just a dumb story cutscene and maybe a minute of gameplay of
I hope it's in
non-road trip related gameplay.
I hope it's in Japanese and they don't have subtitles, and that's what they show you.
Perfect.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm okay with that. Deus Ex.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
I'm actually kind of interested in that.
Yeah,
I did not play Human Revolution, which
Great
is
game.
weird.
Do you think they will show more Tomb Raider stuff?
I think they will.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be
think
like
a little
trailer.
bit. I feel like most of it will probably be coming from Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like they have a bigger piece of that pie than Square, but I think they'll show.
Because Microsoft is
because
publishing
they're co-publishing it basically.
Yeah.
So
Square will have the trailer, but Microsoft will have like the gameplay.
yeah, I think so.
All right, Steven, Kingdom Hearts. What do you want to see? I don't.
Oh my god.
When you think
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts, when you think Kingdom Hearts, I hear Smash Brothers, and my interest just I don't.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm with Steven on this because I want Kingdom Hearts 3 so bad.
I want it,
it's
I want
like,
I hope
I played
it's
so
flawless in it.
much of the first two.
I think they'll. My optimistic hope is a trailer. Like
Yes.
just even if it's just like a teaser or something simple like that. I think.
I mean, last year they only showed 15 seconds of little guy fighting a bunch of heartless dudes. Like,
Yeah, that didn't make me excited. What I am excited for is what they'll show at this press conference, and it will be the trailer where it's the classic Yoko Shimomura, like, Kingdom Hearts music, and it'll just be, like, quick edits of the places you're gonna go in the game.
well,
And-
now it's,
and
I
then-
mean, it's
and
Disney,
then-
so I mean, are they
and
going to go
then
to Marvel Worlds? Is like,
Yes.
they're going to be a
Yes.
Darth Vader Keyblade
They're
match at
gonna
some point?
milk that franchise. Disney is gonna milk everything they have to push this game.
I want to see Pixar stuff. That's what I want to see most is some Pixar
Yeah.
mixed in there too.
Some
Okay.
Toy Story action happening there.
Some Toy Story, some Monsters Inc. Give me that and
Yes.
day one
Yes.
done.
Give me some Inside Out, even though I haven't seen that movie.
If there's some Clone Wars in there, I will change my
It
opinion.
won't be Clone Wars, but it'll be weird if they have a Star Wars though. That is kind of weird.
Why
like,
not?
I don't-
Marvel, throw
I
some
don't-
Marvel in there too, man.
Marvel would be easier though, because Marvel's so like Kingdom Hearts aesthetic is very much like goofy,
Okay.
like look at his shoes, shoes, man.
So you think it's Marvel Heroes like the Disney Infinity Marvel Heroes? They just kind of drop into that world.
Oh yeah, that would make sense because that's definitely something that would fit in with the whole Kingdom Hearts look. But like Star Wars is not. It's just so different. Like you look at the Star Wars movies and they're very much like not realistic, but like totally something you can't easily translate into the Disney cartoon type.
I don't think so at all. I think.
Okay.
I mean,
would-
if you look at Disney Infinity 3.0, that's all the proof you need. That's really all they have to do is take that and just drop that into Kingdom
That's
Hearts.
true.
I would give a baby to a drifter to see Donald Duck fight Darth Vader.
They were able to take Tron and translate that to Kingdom Hearts. So I think Star
Oh, yeah.
Wars won't be a problem at all. So I
Okay,
think
yeah.
it'll work.
Okay, but yeah, oh man, I really Kingdom Hearts. It
I
won't
mean,
have any.
Yeah, out of everything, I
There
want
won't-
Kingdom Hearts.
There won't be a release date.
No, please.
No.
Are you crazy?
There won't be a release window. It'll just say coming soon, and that's it.
We talk about Deus Ex. We'll definitely see something. I mean, they are ready to show Deus Ex because we are going to be playing it and then interviewing them about Deus Ex.
I think it's this year.
Do we see a Hitman?
Really? Wow.
Do we see a Hitman, guys?
Ooh. I think if you see Hitman, it'll be another mobile game.
I would be okay
'Cause
with
they-
that because Hitman Go was great.
Yeah, it was
a really
good.
game.
And then Hitman Sniper recently came out,
On the
or
iPhone or something?
yeah, I think so.
yeah,
So
it was recent. So
I feel
Hey,
like
guys.
if they're gonna do Hitman, they're gonna push that. What?
Who does Just Cause belong to? Is that Just Cause
that's Square.
Enix?
It's Square.
That's Square.
Yeah,
Just Cause 3, bam.
I think
done.
Just Cause-
Closing
yeah.
with Just Cause.
That's true.
Just Cause 3 is going to be there. It's going to be insane. So
Rico's
Well, that's-
surfing on a jet, flying it into a tower, and then he's
Isn't-
just gonna grapple hooks.
Isn't that supposed to be this year too?
it comes out in November.
awesome?
But then they're also doing Mad Max. How big is that studio?
Well, Mad Max is Warner.
Well, it's
yeah, but
it's
they're publishing.
it's
But
developed.
Avalanche is.
It's
Yeah.
being developed by Avalanche, but being published by Warner Brothers. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird.
big enough because they work on the Disney Infinity games too. So
Is that the same Avalanche? I
it's the
thought that was-
same. Yeah,
Big
it's the same
studio.
one. They're a big
Okay.
studio. So
That's weird. Huh. Well
What
then.
else- What else does Square show? Any surprises? I think we see more. Definitely more Final Fantasy 14, the online one, because they got that expansion coming.
Maybe another Final Fantasy remaster.
We'll see Dragon Quest Heroes or Warriors.
Heroes.
Oh yeah, Heroes.
I know they also have a couple of other unannounced titles, but I feel like that is pretty much Kingdom Hearts and
Yeah.
maybe Kingdom Hearts on the DS or something.
No, they'll do a. I think they're focused on Kingdom Hearts 3. They've done so many side projects
They've done
since
so many
2.
side ones. I think it's just Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, enough already.
So you think they're done announcing the different Final Fantasy games at one time, where they're just like, hey, we got 3 different Crystal Novalis, blah blah blah, and a card game. Like,
No, I think they're
past
just.
announcing multiple Final
There'll
Fantasy.
be a Final Fantasy something where it's like, oh, this is this offshoot by some other director who we're giving
Do you
free
think
reign to do.
do you think we'll get another tech demo of a just random Final Fantasy thing? like they did last year of like, this is our Philosopher Ignis tech demo showing off the engine. Like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I thought they stopped using that engine too, or was that with just only Kingdom Hearts? Because Kingdom Hearts changed to Unreal Engine 4, where they're only going to be
using the emotion engine.
Yeah, exactly. The emotion engine.
Yeah, I only remember the emotion engine from that stupid Final Fantasy VIII ballroom demo. Was that the cell showing up the cell processing or something?
Was it? Oh man, the only tech demo I really remember was the GameCube. They had like the 1,000 Marios on a world or something, or was it 100 Marios? That was really weird. I don't know. Oh, the other one I remember was a tech demo for Unreal Engine 3, where it was a slab of meat in Gears of War that they would shoot and melee to show like the resilience or like the. Oh, it was so weird. Man, tech demos are weird.
They are weird. I'm pretty sure we will see an Unreal 4 demo at some point again.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Maybe
that'll be during
the PC conference.
Show.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move on from Square. There is a PC show happening, but I feel like a lot of that's going to be mostly Star Citizen, Overwatch, maybe by Blizzard. I think it's going to be a lot of third-party stuff.
Yeah, it's a big show that has a lot of presenters because they got like Boss Key Productions, which is Cliffy B Studio working on that new game, Creek. So Square Enix is going to be there, Blizzard, Obsidian, Paradox, Devolver Digital.
Yeah, I think it's going to be too many to mention, but it's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, I think it's also not just probably going to be software. It's also going to be pretty heavily focused, I assume, on hardware too to show off some new.
Steam Machine?
So it could be, yeah. I think that's a possibility. So we'll see.
All right, so
pre-order.
So this next part, my favorite part, and I think we'll probably. This will be our closing segment here. I put that down as third-party exclusives, but not really.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention a list of games, and you will tell me what press conference where they will appear in, whether it be Microsoft or Sony, and what dumb DLC exclusive thing they will have.
Okay.
So starting with Mad Max, PS4 or Xbox One?
PS4. You will play as the Nathan Drake costume.
I got a dumber one. So Xbox One, but you'll be able to have Forza cars in it.
See, I was gonna say PS4 with Twisted Metal cars.
Oh,
the Sweet Tooth ice cream machine. How great would that be?
That would be cool.
See, Ryan, when you said dumb, I thought it was going to be Xbox One with the Halo. Remember the Halo 5 teaser trailer where he's in the desert and that monster thing comes from the sand? I thought you were going to say that was going to be an Easter egg in Mad Max.
You could have the Warthog in there. Like you could just throw in dumb cars in there, easy.
Yeah, it's true.
Call of Duty, Microsoft, I guess, right?
Xbox.
Really? Is that a question? Like.
It's Xbox, and you get a exclusive sniper rifle if you pre-order.
You get some dumb weapon that really doesn't matter. So.
Hey, DLC, you get the expansion 60 days before the other guy.
You get the Halo Magnum pistol with online multiplayer or something. I don't know.
Scope on it too.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Xbox.
Yeah, really? They went Xbox last year, but they're usually
they're usually Sony.
Oh, hey, Sonny.
I think they're gonna continue especially after the bundles and stuff they've been doing at Microsoft. I think Xbox is where they're going.
And do you think what is their DLC pre-order for DLC pants?
Exclusive missions or weapons.
Yeah, missions definitely. It'll be pre-order now, and you'll get more things to climb.
You'll get
in the Xbox version.
You'll get an extra hour of content or whatever it is. That's like, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say extra hat, and I was like, why?
I'm sure you'll get extra top hats too, because that'll be great for that game. So.
It's during the Victorian era.
Yeah, extra hats all around.
Guys, but I think the most coveted third party, the Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
Because remember they showed up on I think they showed up on Xbox One last year, no?
Yeah, they did.
No, it was. Well,
wait, was it?
Did a demo?
I think they showed it at PS. No, they showed it at Sony.
Was it Sony?
It was Sony. Yeah, I think PS4.
Yeah, it'll be PS4. It'll be some dumb throwback thing to the first game, like they did in Ground Zeroes, where it's like, oh, you get to play with the same avatar as the PS1 version for whatever reason. That, or it'll be a Shadow Moses map.
Okay, I can take a shot. I don't mind that.
And then it'll come to Xbox One 6 months later or something.
All right. Well, Batman's already coming out. That's on Team Sony for the most part.
That's Team Sony, yeah.
Fallout. Do we see a Fallout in the non-Bethesda conference?
I see Xbox.
I see PC, and the tagline is it works on this console.
I think
play it on or they end it like play it on your Xbox app on Windows.
They had the
stream it to your Oculus.
They had that whole deal set up with Fallout 3 before, so I think it's going to be Xbox. And even when you looked at the website with the boxes, they had the Xbox One box first above all the others, so it's definitely Microsoft. So.
And I also put here Gearbox's new game. Is it Battleborn?
Battleborn. No. Battlecry is Bethesda's. Battleborn is Gearbox's.
Yeah. That sounds like a Microsoft.
Better names.
Yeah. That is as generic a game ever.
Yeah.
Might as well just call it like Fight Life or something.
I would maybe go PS4 on that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
Mm.
And this year, what is going to be this year's Drivatar?
Good question.
VR.
something VR related, probably.
Yeah, that's a new gimmick. Well, not gimmick. Well, it's kind of a gimmick.
Or 4D or some dumb term like that. Like.
Nah, it'll be mobile integration. Like, oh, you can purchase things on your phone if you.
Second screen experience.
Yeah, it'll be. God, it'll be something like that.
Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be weird. Yeah.
All right. And you know what? That's it. We went a little long, but like I said, this was an important ShockCast. This is our prediction show. So you know what, guys? We're gonna end it right here. I don't care what you've been playing because next week it's not gonna matter. So we're just gonna end it here. We were joined today by Mr. Steven Santana.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Ryan Meitzler.
So I'm gonna start sleeping tonight. So that way during E3 I won't have to sleep at all. I'll just get like 48
that's not how
hours.
Sleep works.
I'll get like
That's a dumb plan.
That's not how sleep works, Ryan.
Hear me out. You know how it's like when you drink 10 5-hour energy drinks and you get 50 hours of consecutive energy?
No.
If you just sleep for 40, if I sleep for the next like 2 days, I'll have 48 hours of energy that I will just be able to use all at E3, so I won't have to sleep. So I'll stop there because it's like
most of our E3 is going to be waiting in the emergency room with Ryan after he has his heart attack.
Ryan, this isn't Fallout where you can just look at a bed and say, I'm going to go to bed exactly until 7 o'clock, and then you wake up at 7 o'clock.
How long do you want to sleep for? 36 hours.
God.
And
man.
I was, and still am, George Jimenez. And we are on DualShockers.com. You should check out our site and definitely keep an eye on for our extensive and in-depth E3 coverage. It's going to be interviews going up on SoundCloud, video stuff, a lot of hands-on previews. We're going to play a lot of video games and recording a bunch of our dumb hijinks, and even a video of me having my first In-N-Out burger. I shit you not. It's going to be fantastic. We'll document
I really want to do the video where I'm in the treadmill for the VR.
Yes, that video will happen.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Do it on my iPhone, and I will that. I want that. I want all of that and more. And it's gonna be my first E3, so I'm gonna be super excited. And it's gonna be great. And I can't wait to run into like my other writer friends who's like, it's my 10th E3.
I get to be the grumpy old person because I'm like, this is my second E3. The grizzled old,
You get to become like every other gaming person who's like, it's so
why can't they just stream anything? I don't want to walk to a booth.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait. I should get a little pedometer and count the steps I do.
It's gonna be
Get your Pokewalker from the DS remake of.
Oh yeah, I'll just pull that right out of my ass. Like
that's what Nintendo did to make that.
Or George, you get what's called a 3DS.
Oh yeah, it does have a step counter, but then it on the 3DS it tops out at like 2,000 steps, and then it's like, all right, I'm not gonna count anymore for you. So it like tops out, and it's like, all right, well, I think you walked too much, so we're just gonna stop counting.
Yeah.
Oh man, so that's it for us guys. Be sure to watch all our hijinks and make sure if you see this and then the conferences happen and we are wrong about anything, mention that in the comments because I'm really curious to see what that's like.
Kingdom Hearts 3 canceled.
I wish. Oh my god.
You shut your mouth.
I want that to happen. And you know what the worst part? Like I always and a little sidebar before we go. But when people found out like I wrote about video games, I would get the occasional friend who would either message me on Facebook or something. Goes, "Hey man, so you know when like Kingdom Hearts is coming out?" I'm like, "No! Why would I know that?" Like it's. And then I would just be like a total dick and be like, "Nope, not happening. Sorry." I talked to the guy at Square Enix. He said, "Nah." Hey,
I would have said, yes, it's already out on your mobile phone. Download it now.
it's a card game. It's Gwent. You missed it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
All right, guys, we're done. I'm slowly losing my mind, and my dog is slowly getting restless. All right, Sonny, we're done. Thank you so much for watching. Next time you see us, we would have aged 10 years, and one of us probably died. So
Probably me.
can't wait for that. So have fun, guys.
I think my stomach will explode.
Maybe after
All
that
right.
hamburger.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Bye, guys. We totally lost it.
Oh man.